Good morning, all of you. Okay, this week we have the rolling motion, conservation of angular momentum, and angular impulse. Then we have the fluid, sorry, the SHM, simple harmonic motion. So this thing, I think today's will stick on to rigid body, this rolling angular impulse and the angular moment, conservation of angular momentum. The remaining 2 days will focus on the SHM. That is what the plans. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This will be. So today I picked up some rolling motion related information. We'll have a discussion on that. Okay, read the question. I'll put the information. Read the question. I'll put the data. Okay, now we'll continue with the question. So if you see these are the possible ways of asking question. Actually, if you look at the motion of connected rigid bodies, it is very less that is being asked. But I feel there's all possibility of asking any of these questions. You need not to go for the vector, like a vector kinematics approach. That one, let's stick on to the basic because all these are this particular thing. There's a rod, so AB and BC are a rod. So information is very less. So let me write here: AB and BC are light rigid rods. So the length of those rods are given. What is it? As it is a rigid, what will happen to its length? Length will not increase, not decrease. No. So that particular aspect is what is going to help us a lot. Okay, how to get this particular thing? Okay, let me start with. And there's a block. Okay, fine. So these are the very small. Okay, I think you're able to see, and the rods, they are connected. This one. Is crying. Okay, no, let's get into this one. So there's a point A, B, and this is C. So this is moved with a velocity Vc. I think this much is what the basic information. Okay, let's carry on. So he's asking what is the determine the angular velocity of the rod bar AB. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. We have to calculate the angular velocity of the rod AB. So what is the length of the rod BC should remain constant. So shall we use constraint equation for that? So let the velocity, how the point B will move. I think this is the most important part of the problem. The point B must move vertically down. Any reason? Because the rod AB is hinged about this point. The rod AB is hinged about this point. And how the rod AB will rotate like this? It will have angular velocity omega 1. I'll write it. So because of that, the linear velocity of point B must be vertically down. I think this is the primary factor in analyzing this problem. This is theta. Okay, this will be theta. This will be theta. And then what is the basic constant equation? So this angle, let it be say beta. Then rod BC is inextensible. As the rod BC is inextensible, so VC cos beta should be equal to VB sin theta. So we know theta given 30 degrees, beta 60 degrees. So VC is how much? 4 feet. I'll make it meter. It'll be easier. $4 will make it. All this will become meter. Definitely, if you look at, maybe it is some foreign author book where they use feet, everything. We see this will be 4 cos beta cos 60 VB sin 30. (4 meters per second). The velocity of point B of the rod 4 meters. If you know velocity of point B, we know the length. We know this length LAB, or say L1. I'll write it. So with this, what is VB is equal to L1 into omega 1. VB we know 4. L1 is how much? 2. Okay, simple. This one. So what is the most difficult thing is like predicting the velocity of point B. Predicting the velocity of point B is the most difficult thing. Once you get this, okay, otherwise nobody can help you. So how, sir, how do you can say the velocity of point B? Look at the rod AB. It will rotate in this plane perpendicular to plane of paper about an axis passing through point A. So therefore the velocity of point B must be vertically down. Got the idea? So I'll write down the idea of the problem. So the important note, I'll write it. Note. Okay, got the idea? No, this is if you look at the books, what we have now, we don't have discussion much numericals like this are connecting. I think earlier in the month of, I don't remember, in the month of May, we had a discussion on such numericals. I just picked up 2 numericals here. If you look at our books, we don't have either, only one body we have. Till now in advance also, only twice they've asked motion of connecting bodies. Motion of like a connecting rigid bodies. So all possibility of asking that one. I'm just trying to stress which is not there much in books. That's why I just picked up few numericals today. Okay, read this part of question. No. Very simple. I feel like, so initially what we'll start thinking so many other ideas, but straight away what you should just take help of the small basic. The length of the rod is It will change. We are talking about only at that instant. No, I think the question is about at that instant only. At that instant only. The length of this theta will vary because as this moves here, it will vary. No. All these are part of syllabus. Huh? So don't think that only one rod, anything it can be. Huh? Okay, read this question now. Again, is asking determine the angular velocity of the links A, B, and BC, and the velocity of point B at this instant shown. We'll make all the things meter, huh? So that it'll be easy for our discussion. Or you can convert in because we have to go stick on to SI units now. So therefore, let me go for. For first, I think we'll start with this one. How the rod AB will rotate. Should rotate about an axis passing through point T. So I'll call this is omega 1. Then how do this will be omega 2. Is asking to get the velocity of point B. How the velocity of point B should be in this direction. I'll try to explain in the diagram itself. Or we'll bring one separate diagram. Some of you are getting confusion. So this is the what we are discussing only simple basic idea like this. Huh? Okay, no. Yeah. Okay, I'll proceed. No, this is the all the angles are given. So this will make an angle theta. Okay, no. Omega 1. Velocity of point B must be like this. This is a point B. VB should be equal to this L1, this L2. VB should be equal to L1, omega 1. What about the velocity of point C? Velocity of point C is this one. So only for constant equation. So how to get the, we know VC. So can we get omega 2? So VC theta, this is theta, no? VC sine theta should be equal to L2 omega. From that, I'll get the omega 2. Then how to get the velocity of point B? VB equal to VC cos theta. This is for rod BC. Okay, from omega 2 I got it. Then what happened? We know VC and theta. I'll get VB. If you know VB, omega 1 equal to VB by L1. Finish over. You see it. So definitely as an objective question, definitely the anybody will be interested to ask you such simple ideas and nothing big. Anybody value omega 1?
2 root 2.
2 root 2.
2 root 2. Okay. Very nice, interesting one. Carefully analyze. Okay, carefully read, try to understand. So don't bother that gear, everything. So you need not to bother this gear. Practically in all our rigid body, so there's a wrong thing. Actually, to be frank, nowhere in the world, what is use of this? We do have questions like this, no, where our diagrams are like this. What is use of this? Nowhere in the world will be using a equipment of this kind. It will be like this only. The gauge system, somewhere, but application part, okay. Nowhere what happened will be having a equipment of this kind. Usually like all the gauge system. But we do discuss some problems to learn the rolling friction. That's all here. But application part hardly we have. So from this, what happened? The JE advanced paper, they may go here. You need to bother, sir. What is a gear? A gear is an instrument. It's a very what all we have today modern engines. No, what all we have, the vehicles, all everything. No, almost all the equipments. They're just based on the gear. That one. So let's not bother much about the gear. Okay, get into the. We'll make problems simple because most of us, what happened, we are not familiar of diagrams of like this. Okay, there's one best possible way. I'm drawing the diagram. Okay, don't get scared anything. So I think the diagram, what I'm drawing with that, at least you'll be able to think. Some throat infection, unable to speak loudly. Okay, we'll manage. Huh? Okay, now look at this diagram. I think now little bit easier. Okay, you can think very comfortably. Carry on with the problem now. Velocity of point B, omega B. Okay, now I think most of students now you feel very comfortable, at least looking at this diagram. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, whenever rod is there, what I said, length of the rod should remain constant. So component of velocities of the ends along the rod must be zero, must be equal. That's the one thing. With the help of that, I'll get the VB. You have to ask one question, sir. You didn't give velocity of point B. Why you are assuming velocity of point B like this? This is the most primary important part of the discussion. What is the question? Determine the velocity of slider block A at the instant shown. He's asking this particular slider. Its velocity has to be determined. Why the velocity of that particular circular gear rotates, no, rotating gear. It is clockwise, it is shown. So why it should be towards left only? Why not towards right? See, this is what your common sense should come into picture. And this is what your common sense. If this moves up, if the point A moves up, at this block A starts rising up, tell me like what do you expect this point B? If it goes towards right, what will happen to the length of the rod? Will increase, no? For the length of the rod to remain constant, the point B must have velocity towards left. This is nobody will help you. There's no theory, nothing. A general idea of general motion of a bodies, connected bodies, one must know. Am I right? The slider A moves up. Then for the length of the rod to remain constant, the point B should move towards left. That he has not given. See, from I think first of all you start from here. As you start moving, so as this starts moving here, at this the I think what he is calling the gear rack. This called as a gear rack. As the gear rack, or in our language, we'll call plank. As the plank C starts moving. So as it starts moving, this will rotate like this, no? This will rotate, and the tooth which is here, what will try to drag this rotating gear towards left. As it starts moving towards left, so for the length of the rod to remain constant, the block A should slide up. Able to understand? If this plank C moves towards left, this will rotate here. So what this plank C will do, it will also try to drag the gear, rotating gear towards left here. So velocity of point B will be towards left. So the block A should move up. Okay, this is a very important part. Rest all mathematics. Okay, now we'll get into the first constant equation only for the rod AB. Let's get in the rod AB. VA cos theta, this will be theta is 60, no? So therefore this will be 30. So VA cos 30 should be equal to VB cos theta. So VB cos 60. Okay, there's a one constant equation, VA root 3 by 2 equal to VB by 2. keep it in equation 1. No, any equation can be right further. So let's look at this point, these 2 points. Velocity of this point should be equal to velocity of this point, no? Because the tooth, they're in contact. That is the main idea. So here in our language, we say no slipping occurs. But here what happened? The tooth, the velocity of this tooth and this tooth should be same. So based on that, it should be equal to VB plus R omega B. What is R? R is this one. Equal to VC. So VC, value of VC we know, R we know, omega B we know, we'll get the VB. Value of R 75 millimeter, no? So 0.075, omega B 10, VC is 5. 4.25 meter per second. Put 2 in 1, we'll get the velocity of E. Anybody value VA?
17 by 4 root 3.
2.45.
It's a 2.45.
Okay, I think for our in advanced exam, they may object. No, they may change problem like this. They'll ask you. Okay, don't bother. Just carry on. No slipping occurs between this disc or something. Will say between the plank. Then anyway, you're going to write it here. So that's why I gave both the diagrams. I wanted to discuss only for this, but the way in advanced exams or if you look at the books, no, we don't have diagrams of this one. So they may convert like this. They'll ask you what is there in that one. They don't bring the word gate, so they'll call this like a spherical rigid body. There's a plank, there's a block which can slide along this one. Either way, they can test you. Huh? Need not to be always with this diagram. Hmm? Yeah. I will. Anyway, I think this you are quite familiar. You know to get scared with the. I'll construct the diagram. Okay, now we have a rope. Okay, this I think you are quite familiar. It's like a spool, no? That particular belt only, let me make it a plank. At least you can think on this one. No? What is given? He has given the acceleration of plank. Just for our understanding purpose, I made a diagram like this. Otherwise, straight away, we should start with that one only. Okay, now get into the, so this is the, there's a chord or a string, whatever you want, you can take it. Acceleration of a plank, like this, I think, acceleration of a conveyor belt, it is. This acceleration of center of mass, so that is G. Inner area, outer area, he has given. Wire, no? This is wire. Nice problem to really, for students to learn this one. It's a very good, you can think random way, you have to cross check and you have to correct itself. That's what the requirement of this particular problem. Now, what are the forces that will be acting on it? So this wire, the string will become taut. Okay, there's a thing. So tension will be there. This one. Will there be any? So the plank or the conveyor belt will move. So what that particular spool? So this is a spool. So where is the spool? This is a spool. Huh? What is everything? A string is wound on the, say like a shaft of the spool. Then it is connected to wall, and that particular spool is placed on conveyor belt, where conveyor belt will have acceleration AC. Now is asking all this, determine initial tension and angular acceleration of the spool. The spool is originally at rest. Say this particular belt, what happened? This is at rest. You go back to Newton's laws of motion, inertia of rest. So this will continue to be in state of rest, and this is in motion. It will continue to be in inertia motion. The moment this conveyor belt will start, as it starts moving, the spool will oppose its motion. So therefore, the friction should be in this direction. The friction on the spool will be in this direction. Okay, I think I helped enough on this one. At least looking at this, in what action the spool, center of mass of spool should move, and in what action it should have angular acceleration. I think that information is what not there. We are supposed to make a guess. Anybody, can you tell what action the center of mass of the spool should move? Towards left or towards right or any other direction? Let me check it. Left. Left or right? Okay, I assumed it. Let me give towards right. If you want, you can oppose me also. I assume like this. So now you have to give reason. So why only like this? So let me assume towards left. Okay, you do that and try to verify. Whatever you assume and try to verify. In the end answer, try to verify it. If you get negative, you should change the direction. Okay, and for no slipping, the acceleration of these 2 points for no slipping, AC should be equal to R alpha G minus AG. There's a for no slipping between the belt and the spool. There's a one thing. Then T minus F MAG, then F into R. How many unknowns are there? Check it once. I need one more equation. Am I right? The aggregation of this point should be equal to this one. So if you're getting confusion, I'll introduce points so that will be easy for you. For no slipping, AP2 should be equal to AP1. For no slipping between spool and belt. Okay, got the idea? So this is the from here is what I brought that relationship. Okay, now check it like is it our problem got over? How many unknowns are there? So substitute AG value, substitute alpha G value, and AC is given for T and F are unknown, both are unknown. So we have how many unknowns? 4 unknowns are there, and 3 equations. I need one more equation. From where? One more equation. I'll take help of this wire. Aggregation of this point should be equal to aggregation. What is the aggregation of this point? Aggregation of this point should be 0. So let me proceed like this. The aggregation of this point, let me write, this is P3. Aggregation of this P3, and let me take this is P4. Aggregation of point P3 along x-axis should be equal to aggregation of point P4. Aggregation of point P4 must be 0. So aggregation of point P3 along x-axis must be 0. Any reason? Things should be taut and inextensible. So AP3X. So AP3X, what is AP3X? We can write it as AG minus R alpha G. Solve it. If you get negative, change the direction. And we assume no slipping, no calculate friction. Friction should be less than the limiting friction. What is the limiting friction? Mu s n. What is the normal reaction? So 500 kg as given. Check it now. Fs equal to check again the value of F. This should be rolling friction. No, it should be less than limiting friction. If it is less than limiting friction, okay, what will you assume? If it is greater than this, in fact, slipping occurs. Then kinetic friction will act here. Then we know kinetic friction. Okay, then you can work out the numerical in other way. I'll give the answer, sir. Later on, you can check it. This is the determine the initial tension, no? 2.32 kilonewton or 23 angular acceleration 1 meter per second square. Verify answer later on. Huh? Let me take to the next problem. Read the question. Carefully, this is a really good problem for, especially for students. I verified everything, all options, everything will match. No, there's no problem with the question also. Just small idea based, huh? Nothing to do. Just stick on to the basic idea, then get into the problem. Huh? First, get the free body diagram. The biggest trouble for you is this particular roller. What to do with that roller is what your biggest trouble. Surfaced by a small roller of negligible mass and dimension. I think please do think it's the way he has set a question. No? So this is very important. So I want you to really focus on that particular sentence. As if what happened, the entire problem, what happened, to mean to say that there won't be friction between this end and this particular surface. Smooth roller, small roller of negligible mass and dimension. We need to bother this roller. Got the idea? You need not to bother about this roller itself in the question. Just it's like a rod leaned against vertical wall, horizontal wall. That is asking all these things. Okay, let me start now. What are the various forces that are going to act? The normal contact, call this is N1. First we'll list out all the forces. This will be the weight mg, then the friction. Let me give the number, naming. So this is N1, normal contact N2, and there's a friction. Mu N1, I'll write it, or F1. Okay, so now we have friction, normal contact like this. What is the tendency of this rod? How do it will move? It will have an acceleration, one along x-axis. So one along x-axis, y-axis, and it will rotate about its center C. Anybody, any objections? So you can object it. Same thing in the torque, we were discussing about like a what should be the angle theta for equilibrium. Here I just brought a numerical where it will have acceleration. So it's asking the magnitude of initial acceleration of NA of the rod, NB of the rod, what is the angular acceleration, all and things, magnitude, the normal contacts, all things we can determine. What are the equations? We can write it. So along y-axis, why I should put acceleration along x, along y? Any reason for this? Why not ax towards right?
Normal contact is acting towards left.
This N1 is acting, no, only this N1 is acting on the rod along x-axis, so x. Why can't AY upward? I think there's a common sense, no, like how center of mass here, if it is set free, no, this end will move towards left, this NB will move towards right. Definitely the center of mass will have a displacement along y-axis also. So AY, I'm going to take it. Sir, what about alpha? Under action of all this, there'll be torque is set up and it will rotate about its center of mass. Let's see what all we can do. So this is one basic assumption. This is very important. This is the important part. So let's write all the possible equations. N1 equal to M into A1. This is equation 1. Then along y-axis, mg minus, let me write mu n1, mg minus mu n1 minus n2 equal to ma2. Equation 2. Now about talk about center of mass. So who all will set up talk about center of mass? This will be theta n2 n2 into L by 2 sine theta clockwise plus n1 into L by 2 cos theta anti-clockwise, then friction mu n1 so what is this? This should be equal to IC into alpha C n2 L by 2 sine theta. So whichever torque clockwise one, I'll take it positive. Anti-clockwise, let me take negative. Clockwise one, I'll take positive. N1 L by 2 cos theta. What is IC? ML square by 12. So there's the equation 3. Moment of inertia, I'll write it. Okay, now, but still so many things are there, no? I think I can simplify this. We'll end up with equation N2 L by 2 by root 2 N1 L by 2 root 2 anti-clockwise negative mu N1 L by 2 root 2. Let me call this as equation 3. No, one L will get eliminated. One more step I can simplify. ML alpha C root 2 also. This will be 6 3 into 2 or 3 root 2 this side. N2 minus 2n 2 mu. Okay, this will be minus of check it once. I think I'm right. Huh?
Yes.
Is it okay? Yeah, fine. Now, what is the next thing? How many unknowns? So many unknowns are there, no? Whose help you have to take? I think we have exhausted ourselves, no? Okay, sir, what is there talk about any point? No, it is rotating about center of mass. This is over. We are exhausted. I need some more equation. Whose help I should take? Consider equation. Acceleration along common normal should be equal. So as because of rotation of the rod, it will have tangential acceleration. Then what is the acceleration of point A along y-axis? Should be 0. Okay, similarly, acceleration of point B along y-axis, along x-axis should be 0. So I do take help of constraint equation. With the help of that, I'll get relation between alpha and AX and AY. That constraint equation will help us to solve further the thing. So a acceleration of, I will minimize it. Yeah. Now you see it. Okay, we'll take the rod. No acceleration This will be L by 2 alpha. This is theta. This is theta. So here AX and AY. This is the point A. Similarly, at point B, it should have tangential acceleration L by 2 alpha. Alpha only we wrote it. This is AX. What is AX and AY? I'll change it. So this is AX and this is AY. This should be theta. So what is the constraint equation? Acceleration of point A along y-axis must be 0. Because the end A will be in contact. The end A will be in contact with the ground. I just picked up this problem only to explain this constraint equation. Here, very important. The end A will be in contact with the floor. Okay, fine. So based on this, now what we can write it as like a AY is equal to L by 2 alpha cos theta. Similarly, the end B will be in contact with the wall. So ABX must be 0. So what is the condition now? So AX should be equal to L by 2 alpha C, alpha C, Y alpha C, only alpha. Okay, solving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll get the required answers. Getting no, so small idea based problem. Huh? You could have avoided that small roller. You would have just made the horizontal surface as a smooth, vertical wall as a rough, and you could have continued the problem. I'll write down the key you check afterwards. Huh?
Four one two three.
PQ 4123. 4123. Yeah? Let me see once. Acceleration (3 meters per second square). AX and AY will become 3 meters per second square.
4124, sir.
4124. Huh? I don't have. The friction will be 1 Newton. Yeah, the friction will be 1 Newton. This will be S, the magnitude of initial acceleration of the rod. Initial acceleration of the rod, 3 root 2. 4124. Okay, I'll slide down. We'll take the next one here. Determine the distance moved by the lower end at which rod no longer touches the vertical wall. Why it will lose contact? So till now we took it for granted. Now we know rotation mechanics a little bit. So let's try to explore the condition. Previous problem what we discussed, without friction is what you should try to analyze now. Let me bring the idea of instantaneous center everything. Determine the distance moved by the lower end at which rod no longer touches the vertical wall. Obtain an expression for the angular velocity of the rod as a function of theta. I think if you recollect, so about what point the rod will rotate. You can, so this is IAOR, this is the center of mass. There's a NA and NB, and let this be R. So we know this distance, coordinates of center of mass will be L by 2 cos theta, L by 2 sin theta. We can write all that one. So what can be the distance R? R should be the length of the rod is given, no? Yeah, capital L. Okay, I'll just give 2 minutes time. You have to analyze once, huh? Then I'll come into picture. You have to think. So this is something very important, no? So usually first you do for rod, no? Once you are familiar with the rod, you can proceed for next any other thing. So why that IAO or I brought there? So if you see the velocity of NB like this, velocity of NA will be like this. Then what we do? Let me start like this. So this from here the I'll project the or cell. I'll produce the radius vector or position vector. From here the position where these two position vectors intersect, that should be the instantaneous axis of rotation. Okay, fine. That is C is the center of mass. IAOR I should call that one. So if you want, you can give some point P. What is P? P is the instant axis of rotation. P is the what happened? Instantaneous center. Okay, these terms, no, what are P and C will define them. C is the center of mass. Okay, no, let it be. From where this it will get angular velocity. Initially the rod was vertical, no. So center of mass was at L by 2. Now this rod, let it make an angle theta. So what is the distance of this center of mass? No, will be L by 2 sine theta. Earlier the rod was vertical. So for your convenient, you can have like this. This was the end A. This was the NB. So the center of mass was somewhere here at a distance L by 2. How much it has descended center of mass? It has descended by H. So decrease in gravitational potential G of the rod is got converted into the rotational kinetic energy about point P. So first thing we'll write it, mgh should be equal to IP omega square by 2. mg L by 2 1 minus sine theta. IP by 2 omega square. No. What is the IP? No. So for IP, I need ICZ or IPZ, or it is understood perpendicular to plane. No? So IC plus MR square, where R is the distance from P and C. Parallax theorem I applied. What is IC? IC we are very sure. What is R I should write? I think R should be L by 2. So this will become like a, so what is this length will be? L by 2 sine theta. What is this? L by 2 cos theta. This is L. So what is this length? L by 2 sine theta. This L by 2 cos theta. So therefore this should be the diagonal. Then this should be the off of the diagonal. So therefore R should be L by 2. Okay, think on it. So I got the value of IP. Substituting the value of IP, this will become ml square by 3. The value of IP. This value of IP I'll substitute in this equation. mg L by 2 1 minus sine theta ml square of into 3 omega square. So omega is equal to 3g by L 1 minus sine theta. What is asking? Obtain the expression for the angular velocity of the rod as a function of theta. Okay, this is one equation what we got over. So further, if you want to take under root of it, better do remember this is standard data. If you have a formula book and if you have taken the printout of that, then you enter these things in exam. No, why you should do all this? You can directly start from this question. So like this is standard data. Please do remember angular velocity. Now he's asking, determine the distance moved by the lower end at which the rod no longer touches the vertical wall. Let's do one thing. We'll calculate the angular acceleration. So let me differentiate this with respect to time. So this equation, let me differentiate with respect to time. I'll begin the next part of our discussion. I'll give explanation why the end A will lose contact at one specific angle. That angle is what he's asking. Am I right? So let me differentiate this with respect to time. D omega by dt. 3gl minus 3gl cos theta d theta. D theta by dt is what? Omega. So this will be 3gl by 3g by 2l cos theta. Now what is this? This is the angular acceleration of the rod, alpha. So what do you mean by negative sign? Theta decreases. That's the purpose of. What is the x coordinate of center of mass? So x should be equal to L by 2 cos theta. I'll differentiate this with respect to time twice. Then I'll get x component of acceleration. Dx by dt should be equal to L by 2 minus sin theta d theta by dt. Once again, let me differentiate. L by 2 sin theta d omega by dt. This will become minus L by 2 sin theta alpha L by 2 omega square cos theta. No, let's get into condition. Lower end at which the rod no longer touches the vertical wall. If it doesn't touches the vertical wall, there won't be normal contact. There won't be any force. There won't be any normal contact by the wall on the end A of the rod. So what should be the acceleration AX? Must be 0. Means what happened to normal reaction at the end A will keep on decrease. At one instant, it will become 0. When it becomes 0, there won't be normal contact. There won't be normal. There won't be acceleration AX. This idea. See himself in the question he has given that it will lose contact. Or get an expression for normal contact, you can see that it will decrease with the time. or like as theta decreases, n will decrease or na will decrease. Okay, there's the initial derivation part. I'll proceed now, the theoretical one. The rod will lose contact. The end A of the rod, I'll write. End A of rod will lose contact with the vertical wall at the instant. Let me just indicate Na at the instant Na tends to 0 or Na equal to 0. If Na is 0, then acceleration nx shall I write? Nx 0, then Ax must be 0. Okay, that I'm going to put a condition. Do we know alpha? Yes, I know alpha. That's why we brought all these things is to take care about these conditions. Okay, let me substitute all these things in this equation. Let me get into this one. Ax will be 0. 0 equal to minus L by 2 sine theta. Alpha is minus 3g 2L cos theta. Omega square, no? In place of omega square will be 3g by L 1 minus sine theta. Anybody value theta? We have to calculate sine theta, no? Cos theta also will get eliminated. Anybody value sine theta? Anybody value sine theta? L by 2, so like a 3g by 4 or 3g by 2L will get eliminated, no? Or 3g by 2 will 3g by 2 cos theta will get eliminated. So only sine theta terms will be there. Sine theta, okay, 2 by 3, fine, yeah. When the rod makes an angle theta, sine inverse of 2 by 3 to lose contact. Okay, we got this one. Is asking determine the distance moved by the lower end at which the rod no longer touches the vertical wall. What do you mean by the distance moved by it? I think we should calculate the distance, this particular OB. What is OB should be equal to L cos theta. And we know sine theta. There's only condition here, no? I think I can make things small here. Yeah, everything will fit here. Yeah. Okay, sine theta, we got it. So then the distance OB should be equal to L cos theta. So this will be 1 minus sine square theta. So root 5 L by 3. This is what he's asking, answer. When the NB moves a distance of root 5L by 3, the NA will lose contact. And this is what happens. See, we thought like, okay, the ender will touch the O, but it will not happen practically. There's a very important data. Till now, nothing there in advance of this kind. So possibility of asking. But I think this, rather than numerical, no, it's a theoretical idea. How to calculate angular acceleration. So from omega, differentiate further, you'll get the angular acceleration. I'm just wanted to cover different aspects of the problem. No? So that's why I just picked up this one. Everyone knows how to get this omega. So do remember, if they ask you for thing angular acceleration or any of these things, no, so you can focus here. So this alpha is very important. If you know alpha, can you calculate the acceleration of point B or acceleration of point A? I think by considering question, previous problem, take help of the previous problem. How to calculate velocities, we know. How to calculate the speed of the N, B and A, that we know, because we know omega. And since the rod is rotating about point P, we'll get it. Now you have to ask one very beautiful question. Sir, okay, here you are bringing this omega. Where is this alpha? Can you show this alpha? Is it about C or about P? Anybody wants to answer? This alpha is about P or about center of mass? This omega is what I'm showing here. So what about this alpha, sir? Where you are going to show this alpha? Is it alpha about point P? Nothing wrong thinking like this, because we something will learn, no, with this one. Anybody? Alpha is about P or about C? About C only. This is about center of mass. Better write it. Say why to accept blindly things. Then, sir, what about omega? This is the, in fact, the rod is rotating. This will be much easier to determine here. The omega about this particular point. It will rotate about C only, angular acceleration. It is not instantaneous center for acceleration. It's only instantaneous center for only the velocity. Getting this? Huh?
For acceleration also, it's the instantaneous center, no, sir.
No. Whose side? Whose side? The point P what? It's intent center only for velocity. No, it need not be for intent center for acceleration. The reason for that I'll tell you. So in the rolling motion, so if a body rolls, no. Let's have some. So pure rolling. What is the velocity? So V equal to R omega. Let this be R. Okay, I agree this. This will be. Now, what is the velocity? This what instant center is what I'm defining. So it will have V and R omega. It will have omega square R. No, velocity of point P will be zero. Acceleration of point P will be non-zero. So how come this will become instantaneous center here? Then if it is having acceleration, let's get into this one. A, this alpha. So then this is what this point P is not instant center, only acceleration of point P along x-axis will be zero. Because of that, we are writing R alpha. Am I right? Then, sir, is there any point on rigid body where acceleration will be zero? As we can search it. So look at this one. Omega square R. This will also have angular. Omega square R will be there. So what is the acceleration of point P? In fact, non-zero. But acceleration of point P along x-axis is zero. Because of that, we are able to write. Am I right? Then can we search a point on rigid body where acceleration will be zero? So you look at, let's take this point. Let's see that one. So this is having A, this having R alpha, then centripetal acceleration, omega square R. I think not possible here, no? Then what about here? This is A, this is R alpha. I think here there's a possibility is there. Huh? There's a possibility is there. So component of here not possible. Huh? Here there's a possibility there. So somewhere in this region, S, here is what the acceleration of this particular point will be 0. So this cannot be instantaneous center. No, that's what the basic idea here. No? Of course, we don't go for instant center for acceleration, may not be needed also, but in applications are there. Our syllabus we confined only for with respect to velocity only. This acceleration of point P now can be 0. So there's a point P, no? So call this is say some Q. AQ will be 0. Net acceleration of point Q will be 0. Component of component of linear acceleration and tangential acceleration can be nullified, and the component of this can balance this. So try to check it. So in this quarter, it is possible. Huh? What is omega? Omega is d theta by dt, no? So why we should, what is theta? We define theta here, no? The rod rotates about this particular point here, no? So you look at omega, this you try to think here. So again, once again, I'll reminding you, the instant center is what for our convenient to minimize mathematics, we have brought it. If you stand at point P, then what happens? The rod will appear rotating about this point. If you stand here, no, so d theta by dt is what omega. So don't get confused. So the rolling motion, same thing. There are two frames are there. You stand on the ground. All bodies are rotating about center of mass, and center of mass is moving horizontally. If you come and stand at point P, then all points on rigid body will rotate about instant center. The similar idea is what here also should come. If you stand here, you see only rotatory motion. If you stand here, you see both translative as well as rotatory motion for the center of mass. This is what in books what happened, we are bothered more about omega now. We are thinking in terms of that. The similarly here, you stand here, what you see that you nothing instant center, no, what you say, center of mass moving horizontally, all points are rotating about center of mass. That's all. Finish over. You come at stand at point P, then everything will rotate within same angular velocity omega. That's the idea there. Okay, we'll take this one here. A carpet runner is placed on a long straight inclined plane. Carpet, I'll show the carpet like this. Try to read question. By the time I'll set the diagram. It's still more thin. Huh? Oh, okay, I brought the diagram. Shall we use variable mass concept? So actually it is in fact same diagram. Actually it is here. Small, like a oop I'll make, then I'll release. So as it rolls, what will happen? Its radius keeps on increases. That's what he mean to say. So initially how it will be? Initially, hope you might have understood the question. Small oop is made here. Otherwise on its own cannot come, no? Alright. I'll shift it down. Hope if you can understand, it's very easy problem. Okay, now we are very good in variable mass concept. Can we apply variable mass concept? Try that approach also, nothing wrong. Okay, this is the concept here. Hope now you understood. Small OP is made and released. Otherwise, not possible. It will be there only. Okay, you know variable mass concept. Okay, if you want, you can apply variable mass concept. Different ideas. I leave it to student. Whatever you want, you can think. Nothing wrong. Let R be the radius of this. So by the time it comes onto the, finally it reaches the bottom. Okay, somebody is asking what happens finally. I think I had to give one more diagram. Some of them are asking, sir, finally what will happen? Finally what will happen means, finally what will happen? The carpet this is a thing. So finally what happened? The carpet will be here, no? Increasing radius. I should show the radius a little bit more. So if you want, we'll write it. This is smaller or smaller greater than capital R. So here it will have velocity. This will have angular velocity omega. So what is the, let x length x be the length of the carpet, and I'm going to proceed in this way. The center of mass is here, no? Earlier, exactly at the midpoint. Now the center of mass of that has descended. So the decrease in gravitational potential energy of center of mass of the carpet got converted into increase in rotational kinetic energy plus translational current. Will you agree this? The center of mass, which is here now it will be here. Uh, yeah. Okay, no. Look at carefully the things I am trying to explain everything through diagram. That will be much easier approach. So the center of mass, which was at the midpoint on the incline or at this particular height. So this center of mass got descended. What happened? That gravitational potential that got converted into rotational plus translational kinetic energy. Let me get into the conservation of mechanical energy concept. Mgx, mass of the carpet, lambda x, mass of the carpet, x is the length, lambda g, uh, x by 2 sine theta. Is it okay? Directly I'm writing. This should be equal to what? Mv square by 2 plus IC omega square by 2. Pure rolling V equal to R omega. What is IC? I should write here. Moment of inertia of this carpet. Mr square by 2. It will be like a solid cylinder. Let me put all these things. So lambda g x square by 2 sine theta mv square by 2 mr square by 4. Solving all this, so v square is equal to 2g. Now what is x? What is x? First diagram is very important. So I'm telling this one, maximum student, they fight with ear only. They, because it's like a some sort of, what shall I say, that laziness. Sir, waste of time. Waste of time. Okay, now you're preparing for advance. Tomorrow you become engineer. Second diagram will not help you. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 only, then only you'll manage. So it's left to you. If you want a rank only, draw second diagram, get answer. If you want knowledge come rank, then draw 1, 2, 3. I don't want to further comment much beyond this. Huh? Okay, I got this particular thing. What is that? X here, X is the length of the carpet. And next, what we have, G sine theta by 3. So what is that? G sine theta by 3. That should be the acceleration. So if I compare now this, so what is the acceleration of the carpet? Acceleration of carpet will be, so now what is the time taken? Time taken is, if it's t1. So x length. So from this, what happen? We'll calculate the time taken. Next, after this, what happen? If a solid cylinder is released at the top of the slope, what is the time taken? That is t2. Is asking that particular ratios here. So shall we proceed now? X equal to a t1 square by 2. My anger, sir, I'm finding very difficult to control him. Okay, now let me get into the concept. Okay, what is this? Anybody? X equal to t1 square by 2. Something I wrote. Equations of motion. The distance. Finally, what happened? This end of the carpet will reach here. No, rough diagram I put it. So what is t1? 2x by a. What is a? A will be, now what is the time taken for the cylinder to roll down? Again, we have to discuss the concept for cylinder. If you remember the formula, well and good. Acceleration of cylinder. So I'll discuss for that also separately. I think I have a space. I'll dump everything here. Okay, no. Let's discuss for cylinder separately. This is the inclined plane. Here I'll release a solid cylinder. mg sine theta friction alpha AC. For cylinder, no, let me call AC that one. Same x length it has to traverse. No, no, no. It's going to describe uniform excited motion. Directly I brought it. If you want to try it using
Can
this one.
differentiate.
Ah, you can do that also. X equal to, so this will be, I think I'll start like this. MAC F into R is equal to MR square by 2 into alpha C. Then AC is equal to R alpha C. I should eliminate F. So alpha, so this will be F is equal to M AC by 2. Substituting this here, alpha C, that one. Substituting that F in the above equation, mg sine theta minus MAC by 2 equal to MAC. So AC equal to 2g sine theta by 3. Then x equal to AC t square. Ratio of T1 by T2 will be root 2. So most of the data, if you can remember, I think in exams you can save time. That's what here. This will be answer. I'll scroll down. Okay, try to see total question. This is a cylinder. I think can be asked if you check the advanced paper. No, we have one problem on carpet. Please check advanced paper and try to go through once. The same similar approach from that particular question only. I just brought this particular idea. Let me scroll down. Yeah. Last sentence, assume that the roll of paper, assume the roll of paper does not slip on the surface. This condition is very important. You can convert this everything into plane diagram. Just asking linear and angular acceleration. I think only those two things are that are being asked. Okay, let me start with this one. So plane diagram, I'll go for plane diagram. The force F that is applied, no? So where I have to show that force F? The force F, I have to show it at the bottom of this one. This was that force F that is being applied. Radius of the Direction of friction should be like this. So center of mass will accelerate and it will have angular acceleration alpha c. You have plenty of questions to ask. Okay, you can ask it. So acceleration of center of mass should be F minus is asking for the angular acceleration. Angular acceleration will should be equal to torque should be equal to I into alpha c, IC into alpha c. So what is the torque? F into R mu k mg into R is equal to this is like a solid cylinder, no? So mr square by 2 into alpha c. Okay, see no. So the thing is, what is alpha c further? F minus mu k mg by how come? But sir, like a
Sir,
pure rolling all. Yeah.
why did you take acceleration in that direction, sir?
If you pull at this particular end, so this is some plane diagram is what I'm showing. So as I start pulling it, no, so it has to unroll, no. So if it unrolls, then only this end length will increase. I think in your home you'll be having a carpet. Keep it on rough surface rather than granite or something. No, keep it on bed sheet. There'll be sufficient friction. So as you start pulling that, this one end here, it has to unroll. If it unrolls only, then only this possible. No, this length will increase. So for if it alpha, if I bring in this direction, then it will not unroll. No, so therefore the alpha should be backward. Should be so like counterclockwise. Sorry, here, not clockwise. Plane diagram, actually I should not draw. So to write equations, I'm bringing here. There's only a plane diagram, just only I'm trying to look at this particular part. There's a carpet here again. As this is a light, no, what force you apply here, that force will be acting at this particular point also. Every roll of wrapping paper of mass m and radius r in the form of solid cylinder is resting. No? So what force applied here, the same force will be acting here. So therefore the assumption I made it. So if you put alpha like this, so what is the problem? It cannot unroll. Alpha should be like this only. Can be tested for you. Simple idea based here.
Sir,
Uh,
in the previous question, it is given that the carpet is slipping on the surface. So how can we take force F there? The part of the carpet which was unbound, it will have some acceleration. So the force will be something less than F.
this one,
Yes, sir. We are applying force on the part which is unbound, and the force which is acting on the cylindrical part of the carpet, that should be less than F, because
no,
that
no,
part
no,
of
no.
the carpet which was unbound will also accelerate.
Actually, it's like this. Everything is a system. That's what is taken. I took M here. That's what this is. Just a to write equations. I brought here. Otherwise, what happened? That everything will be M. No.
Then how can we write moment of inertia as mr square by 2? The carpet which was unwound will also have some mass.
Some mass will decrease here. So we are just discussing when some amount gets unrolled. We are discussing this problem. Or the question will depend, some half of the length of carpet is unrolled. Okay, then we'll write m by 2 and things will be little bit different here. Then there's m by 2, no, so then F minus the friction on this m by 2a. Then the tension here will act, that tension will things and also just the moment this will be small length, just is about to unroll, we are discussing the problem.
Okay, sir.
I think the question, I think they have put only this much here. if it were really some length unrolled, then if you're asked, no, then that length he will give. When you mention this length, then you cannot think in this way. Then you should bring the mass of the carpet, which is unrolled here. Then the tension T, you have to bring it. Then F minus T equal to mass of the carpet unrolled into acceleration. Okay, agree this? Then this T, what happened, should be brought into picture. Got the idea? This is some information. I try to see this. I think we have, yeah, this will be. As a teacher, I really want to test students with this particular problem, sir. Get into free body diagram. Don't try to, it's not just mere looking. Immediately get the free body diagram. The inclined plane is the fixed one. I think it's there in most of the books. Huh? It's there in most of the books. Yeah, this is the spear. Okay, let me proceed now. Let me indicate all the forces that are going to act first. MG, both are acceleration of Planck be required to keep the center C of cylinder fixed during motion Planck. No slipping takes between the cylinder and the Planck. Okay, the weight of this mg sine theta. Acceleration of the Planck up the incline. That is A. Then the frictional force. Yeah, these are the forces that will be sufficient. Okay, now we'll get into mg sine theta, acceleration of Planck. This is the direction of friction. No slipping takes place between cylinder and Planck. So directly I'll pick up 2 points, P1 and P2. So what is the yeah. What should be the P1 and P2 now? The acceleration of P1 should be equal to P2. First we'll write some equation. So because of the friction acting, alpha should be like this. To keep the center C of a cylinder in a fixed position. So what should be the acceleration of C? Must be 0. From where this is a given, no? So because of that, I'm writing this condition. If acceleration of point C is 0, then the F should be equal to mg sine theta. F into R should be equal to mr square by 2 into alpha. So this mg alpha equal to 2g sine theta by R. Then no slipping occurs. For no slipping, acceleration of point P1 should be equal to acceleration of point P2. Acceleration of point P1 is how much? R alpha. Acceleration of Planck should be A. That won't given, no? So R alpha should be equal to 2g sine theta. This is our answer. Objective question. So definitely advanced. You may expect of questions of like this. I think the blue color water indicates the acceleration of A of the Planck required to keep the center C of a cylinder is fixed. Unless you don't write this, not possible. If you consider the acceleration of center of mass, no, I think things will become very complicated. You see that. Thinking based problem, not like something information based, data based. As far as mains, I think it means they can ask you some small ideas like this, where it doesn't need any integration, or even in advance can be set up. No, so try to work out different set of numericals where some idea will be there. That core idea should be reflected. Pick up problems of that kind, not like a routine type, because now you're at a revision stage. No, so now rolling. Next, what you have is conservation of angular momentum, angular impulse. There are 3 topics are there. So recollect maximum from the notes. Once you are very sure about the notes, then try to take different books or question papers, what all you have. Try to think on them. Immediately draw the diagram. So don't bother how it is possible 2g sine theta. First, immediately draw the diagram, show all the forces. Then how do they can rotate? How do they move? Carry on. Then condition for no slipping is telling, okay, this one, center C at rest, right? You'll end up. So most of the rolling motion, what happened? First, we must get the direction of forces acting. How do the body will rotate or how do it will move? Then some omni unknowns are there, omni equations are there, any constraint equation or any conditions for slipping ideas has to be introduced here. Here to your preparation should be of both the kinds, mains as well as advanced oriented, not only lengthy problems. I'm making things clear. And parallelly, you are having SHM. So SHM, you start with kinematics of SHM, simple pendulum, compound pendulum, superposition, then springs, then SHM with mixed concept. Like this is, I think 2 days will be sufficient. Just go through different numericals. Only kinematics of SHM will take more time because mass based one. Try to balance of these kind. Okay, we'll stop the class. We'll continue from. Shall I tomorrow do SHM or only this? Shall I continue? Okay, I'll do one thing. Let me first. Extra class, I'll plan from day of tomorrow, from Wednesday, I'll plan it. This week only. Not rotational mechanics, extra class for extra syllabus. Rotation mechanics, okay, what is there? Why to read more? Because now I think we should focus more on the mains preparation. No? So why to? So that extra class, what happened? Will focus. Will try to work out on the main syllabus. Extra syllabus, what all we have now. I will upload mains paper from tomorrow. I'll start it. Daily one paper. Okay, you can practice them. Full syllabus, you can directly practice it. Directly in your group, I'll put it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.